Now, at this point in time, I want to acknowledge the presence of two of our authors and speakers, and we want to leverage on their experience and on their expertise. One of them is the author of the book, The Key, the example that I was giving you in the morning, and another person who has flown in from Bangalore. His name is Dev Gadvi. Now, you would be excited to know that Dev Gadvi, today is a big day for him, because today we are releasing his book 80% Mindset and 20% Skills across the world. Dev, jump in. No, he doesn't want to. Give him a big round of applause, please. It's a big day for Dev Gadvi. It's a release date for his maiden book. Release date for his maiden book. Dev,
Thank you.
welcome, 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 welcome. And I also want to acknowledge the presence of none other than the #1 best-selling author of the book, The Key. And his name is none other than Mr. Manoj Srivastav. Can you please give a big round of applause to Manoj Srivastav? Oh, come on, give a big round of applause to him. Welcome, Manojji, and welcome, Dev. Dev, Bangalore, Pune? Bangalore, right?
Now in Pune.
You are now in Pune. Manojji, welcome here. So Manoj Srivastav, we met in our Delhi session, and I met Dev in the Pune session. So we met Dev in the Pune session. Today we are releasing Dev's book, and Mr. Manoj Srivastav, he's from Delhi. So he was kind enough to accept the invitation to come here and do a bit of a discussion, bit of a panel discussion. So we won't really be doing a public speaking as such. I would be requesting them to take seat here. And there are a few questions that I would be asking them in the benefit of all of us. And we'll see what is it that they have to say about those questions. Am I allowed to do so? Yes. All right, great. Can you please go ahead and take individual seats? Mr. Manoj, Mr. Dev, can you please sit?
Thank you.
Can you please sit? That one, please, that one. Yeah.
Sorry, I like to take
Thank you. Can I sit now? Yes. Come on, can I sit now? Yes. Am I allowed to? Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, by the way, this was released in the morning. It's already a bestseller. I just got to know from Nitin's team, Amazon bestseller right now.
Give him a big round of applause. Job done. So book launch in the morning, #1 bestseller right now. All right. So, no. All right. So I have a few questions for you, Mr. Manoj and Mr. Dev. First of all, before I begin, I want to know, tell our audience, what do you do, Mr. Manoj? What do you do? And yeah, so tell us about yourself.
See, I am a technology consultant currently, consulting business owners on technology. I am a Vastu consultant, again consulting business owners to make their space beneficial for them. And I am the best-selling author of the book, The Key, which is a book on personal finance. It's my passion to teach young people on the importance of financial planning. So that is why the book was written. And I am also a coach who coaches budding authors on how handholds them on their book writing journey. So
That's what you do. Great. And Dev, what about you, please? Yes?
Yes, so I'm born and brought up in Gujarat. Come from a humble background. My dad was a truck driver, and I saw a lot of struggle in initial days in terms of finances.
Can you turn on the lights?
My mom and dad, they made us study in English medium, and I'm fortunate to be here today. So by profession now, I call myself self-claimed passionpreneur. What I mean by passionpreneur is somebody who has built his business around his passion. And Nitin has added a lot of value to my passion. It's helped me with this amazing gift, helped me to launch my book. So right now, I'm helping others to identify their passion and convert that into multiple source of income, that is business, while they're even working 9 to 5. So that's what I'm doing primarily. How am I doing it? I'm also an author now, best-selling author. I'm also the mentor coach. I have online programs, and I'm also doing a lot of workshops on how to identify the passion, build a business, doing a lot of mentoring, sales and social media expert as well. So that's a little bit about me.
Great. Give me a round of applause, please. So Dave, my question to you: you said you're a life coach, you are a trainer, you're into training and consulting and all of it. So why a book? Why a book? Why did you write this book actually?
Okay, let me ask this question to audience, and I think everybody will agree. If you have to do a business with somebody, and you would have to hire a coach or consultant, who would you prefer? A professional or an amateur? Raise your hand if you prefer professional. Raise your hand, everybody. Okay, rest will go with amateur. Okay,
No,
no, right?
they don't like raising hands.
All right, they're tired probably. So the point is, we all want to work with professionals, be it a professional doctor, lawyers, whoever it is, right? Would you go to, a doctor who's not a professional, who's just doing R&D on your body? Would you go there? Nobody.
Certainly not.
Right? So how is the speaker and coach different than a doctor and the advocate who's professional? The first difference that is the person will become an authority and he will come across as a professional. There are certain things that he does, which is number one is writing a book. When you write a book, you become an authority in your field. Now, for instance, if I'm writing a book on sales, what does that tell me? What does that tell my viewers, followers? That I am an expert in sales, that's why I'm writing a topic. So straight away, you actually beat the competition and you separate yourself, and you are probably the top 10% in your field already. And if it is a bestseller, even better, right? And if it's through Nitin, it's even better.
Thank you. So Manojji, what was your reason for writing this book?
My reason was to reach as many people as possible through the knowledge, because you can cover only a certain number of people through, like for example, today there must be 150 people over here, while in your webinar must be 2-3 times which you have had, 500, 600 would have. So once you increase the reach, book helps you to do that, establishes you as an authority, as they already said, that authority on a particular subject, and also acts as your visiting card. You can say that if you send this book to, for example, the HR head of a particular company, it will create a different impact than what it would by sending a brochure or sending an email that I want to conduct a training in your office. So that's the difference it does. So when I go to people, meet them for consulting assignment, I carry along the book with me as a gift to him, and that stays with him. I write my number over there. That stays with him all along. And whenever he needs me, he can give me a call.
Great. Now, why do you think, both of you are authors now, you're published authors, but becoming a published author is one thing and becoming a #1 best-selling author is another, #1 Amazon bestseller. How important do you think, Manojji, is this tag, the #1 bestseller?
See, as I told you, that book itself is establishing your authority. #1 bestseller, you can say it's like a compounding effect or a square effect. So it increases it manifold. So the authority increases manifold. The respect which the other person gives you increases manifold when he knows that you are a #1 bestseller author.
I think it's put it beautifully, isn't it? I mean, can I use it in my future programs? It has a compound effect, yeah?
Yeah, compound, I'm a finance guy, no? So compound.
Dave, what was...
Let me also tell you that the book also has been adjudged as the best in the world in the 50 best writers to read in 2017. There's a US-based list which was formed, and my book is at the top of that list in the 50 best writers.
Great, that's a great achievement. Dave, why do you think this title is important, especially in your domain, in your industry?
Why the top
The
number?
#1 bestseller spot?
I mean, it's no-brainer. Why are you doing what you're doing? If you're not thriving to become #1, why are you even doing it?
Correct.
Right? So who would want to come at, nobody aspires, hey, I want to be #2. Have you heard anybody saying, I want to be #2, I want to be #3? Nobody. Because people remember only #1. And having a bestseller tag as #1 clearly tells you that you dominate your own sector. So it's a no-brainer for me.
Absolutely. Dave, are you in job or have you already quit your job?
I am still in my job.
Excellent. Now, a lot of us we had this question in the morning when Shantanu was speaking. There's a lot of people in the audience, they want to know how do you manage this writing a book and doing programs along with a full-time job? And when are you going to call it quits? Just throw some light on it.
I get this question very often. I've got like thousands of followers on social media. And YouTube got 8,000, 9,000 people. I have like 1,000 plus people on my WhatsApp group. So I get this question a lot. I have a community called Passionpreneurs on WhatsApp, and I do regular tips. So I get the same question. You're doing workshop, you're doing audio tips, you're doing YouTube videos, you're writing a book, you're doing conferences, you're doing webinars, you're doing coaching, and then you're working 9 to 5, and you're even traveling for your meeting. See, the beauty of today's technology is that you can work from anywhere. I say that be mobile and use mobile. That's my mantra, and I share this secret with everybody. Today you can do everything from your cell phone, right? Probably only time when I'm sitting on my computer is when I'm writing my manuscript, okay? Or maybe just preparing a presentation. Everything, writing a blog, tweet, code, tags, picture code, video editing, everything, device. I think probably you can see it. That's my device there right now, okay? So that's my secret. Just be mobile and use mobile. I think that's the way to do it. And if you're truly passionate about doing something, I think the 9 to 5 tag has to disappear. You are a passionpreneur when you live every moment in that mode. And then of course there are some tactics. Use your office time to do your personal time. Again, there's a cheat sheet. I'll edit that if my boss sees it's not a good thing. Utilize your time wisely. When you're traveling or when you're, again, honestly, how many people work more than 3-4 hours in a day in office? Right? Very few people. But, so that's the secret. Utilize the time, utilize the technology, and be passionate about what you're doing. That's the only way to do it. Otherwise, you cannot.
Anybody would like to ask a question on this topic, the same question that you asked Shantanu? Anybody would like to ask? Yes, please. To Dev specifically.
Hi, Dev. My name is Tanmay, and again, I'm sitting on the similar board. But I have an experience which I would like to share it with on the larger front. When you live this dual life that you're working also, and you're a writer. I've written 2 books, commercial fiction mostly. There is a sense of jealousy which gets into the office colleagues, and then your career starts getting affected by that. Your bosses starts looking at you in a very different way, because believe it or not, there's still that that man slave thing still goes in our so-called corporate life, which is nothing but I call it all the time a colonial fruit. So how do you manage that, or have you ever got affected with that?
Excellent question, Dev.
Great question. So today, I had a choice, either to be here and spend time with Nitin and be with you guys, do my book launch, or I be in the offsite that has been arranged in just close to Pune, the 2-day event. But I chose this. So for sure, there will be a lot of people looking up to me and say, hey, Dave, because I'm active right on social media, sharing everything that I'm doing. There will be definitely sense of, jealousy or whatever. But I think it will depend on how you manage it and how you look at it, okay? If there's something external which is happening outside the world, if that is impacting you, then you are doing something wrong. It should be you who is actually in control of your life and nobody else, right? Somebody saying something bad, it would not impact if you don't let that thing impact you. So I think just best way is have that filter, and if you're able to manage both and do both, I think that's the best way to do it. But certainly there will be time when it will come then when your other income levels will grow. Your book will grow, your coaching and everything will grow. Then you take a call. Like if you're living the same lifestyle, whether you want to quit a job is best. But yeah, parallelly, I think start working on your passive streams of income and build your income so that jealousy factor doesn't impact you by just maybe losing a job or something, right? We know a lot of politics goes on in the office sometimes.
Right. Manoj, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I also wrote my book while I was working full time, and the book got published. Actually, I quit my job after a year of book getting published. So I did not fortunately have that experience which Tanmay was talking about. In fact, amongst my colleagues, amongst my seniors, amongst the management of the organization, amongst my peers, and amongst my team members, the respect actually increased. I, of course, did not, till the time the launch happened, Just before that, I sought a permission from the office that this is the book I have written, and I am going to go out and advertise, promote the book on the Facebook and other mediums. And the book has no relationship with what I do in the organization because, and it doesn't cover the issues which are addressed in the organization because the book is on a completely different topic. So they agreed, they sent me a confirmation, yes, please go ahead. And I published the book and it was well received in the organization, everybody appreciated the book. And fortunately there was no such thing like jealousy or anything happening. It actually increased the respect. Means people used to stop who were never, like I never knew their names, they used to stop by and talk to me and about the book and how the book affected their lives.
Correct.
So that's what happened actually.
And in fact, Manojji, if I remember correctly, you also got an invitation to do a session on the same topic on which you have written the book in one of the corporates, or it was the same company in which you were working?
No, I got invitation to speak to the employees of my own company multiple times because there were multiple batches which we did, and in other companies as well, where I have taken sessions, explained personal finance, talked about the topic of my book and how it helps people, how it helps youngsters. So we did, I think, 5 or 6 sessions on that.
Right. Then my question to you, is this not, it sounds fake, isn't it? Amazon #1 best-selling author. You're not a New York Times bestseller. You're not a Times of India bestseller. You're not on the crosswords list. Is it not something that, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I'm just an Amazon #1? It was a question that was asked by somebody in the audience early in the day. So do you still say that it carries some weight in it? Or do you think it's going to add more to your branding, or how is it going to add to you?
Well, that's a good question. Let me just give an example. Is being an international player in cricket is good? Yes, absolutely it's good. If you're playing for international, representing India, it's good. Okay? So does that mean that people who are playing in Ranji or in other counties, there are so many counties, okay? Let me just give another example, okay? Let's just talk about football, soccer, right? Playing in the World Cup football, is it different than playing in county leagues and other leagues? Yes, it is different. But can you say that, no, it's not good to be a bestseller or no? Okay, let me just put it this way. Which one would you choose as people who don't know, just an author, somebody who is a bestseller, at least in some category? Ultimate, of course, is the peak, which is international bestselling author, okay? Now that takes a lot. To become that person, an international New York bestseller, takes a lot. And probably takes your lifetime to be there, be Gary Vaynerchuk or Grant Cardone's of the world. They can become there. Doesn't mean that you cannot be, okay? But doesn't mean that I will demean what I'm able to achieve right now, and that should be my next stop, next goal.
Absolutely.
So first I will become an Amazon bestseller, and I will become an international bestseller someday, but yeah, it definitely carries a lot of weight than being just an author, published author, and being an Amazon bestseller. So it carries a lot.
I think it certainly makes sense, isn't it? Who is stopping you from going ahead with other platforms as well? Become an Amazon #1 bestseller and go for other bestseller spots as well. Dave, when are you going to quit your job, or are you not planning to quit your job anytime soon?
It's on the list. It's on the list because the way things are moving, it's really rapid. And I think we get caught up on the commercial aspect of what we're doing. It's really good, but the day when you publish your book, there's something very close to you. It's like your baby. How many of you are having kids? Raise your hand, please. Okay. You get the same feeling when you publish your first book and when you grab the copy. This copy, I grabbed it yesterday, and I met Nitin Sir's team. I was excited as I'm going to meet my girlfriend for the first time. Right? I was so excited to see the hard copy, and because there was already buzz, I was excited. There were a lot of people asking that, hey, when the book is coming. I already started marketing my book 1.5 years ago, before even I published it, right? So I already had that demand already created. The one incident which I would share with you guys is, more than quitting the job, and I'm just loving this. Why? Because I carried these 10 books yesterday to come and give to some people and use for publishing. So I entered in a lift, and there are 2 gentlemen who entered together with me, and they saw me with a bunch of books in my hand. One of them asked me, Dave, he said, What is book? What is this book? I said, 80% mindset. Oh, let me see. Okay, he just grabbed it, okay, before I could say anything. He said, who's the author? I just smiled, and said, it's me. Oh, really? And he looked at me, his expression changed. Okay, his expression changed. He said, oh, how much is this book? It's very interesting, 80% mindset, and then he's looked at reviews. Oh, multi-millionaires have reviewed it. Dan Lok, I don't know if you guys have heard of him. PSR, Bhupender Singh Rathod, who reviewed this book and gave feedback. How much is this? I said, 600. Can I buy one? In my mind, like, shall I give him, because I kept it for somebody, but I could not say, no, it's my baby, but they said, okay, it has to be given to somebody, right? So he bought that book, and he went to his room, he called me just in 5 minutes from the reception, like, sir, I want to meet you. I said, okay, can I come to your room? I said, okay, please come. So apparently this guy is one of the head in one of the Honda company, and they were having a get-together of 60 plus people celebrating. He said, sir, I really see, that this is something great, and I think it's destiny. Can we invite you to do a speech in our show? So that reward is much, much fruitful than any commercial aspect, any money aspect, being best-selling. Of course it adds value, but the happiness which you'll get when people will say that, oh, you're the published author. And then if it is Amazon best-selling, it's even better. Right? So to answer your question, long story short, yes, the quitting job is on the plans. It will happen pretty soon, the way things are moving, and it's really fast. I met a lot of successful people like Patrick Bet David. How many of you know Patrick Bet David? Valuetainment, anybody? Okay, maybe from Valuetainment, you know it, multi-millionaire. So that fulfillment is something which is very important, and someday I will quit the job.
Great. So how do you reach out to these people, these influencers who can write reviews for your book? How do you reach out to these people? Do you think it's a valid question? All right. So how do you reach out to these people? What's your secret sauce, secret strategy there?
Interesting. I think I'm probably the only person who's got so many multi-millionaires abroad who is reviewing my book. Let me ask you one more question. Have you heard of Evan Carmichael? Have you seen his YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Who has seen it? Raise your hand, please. Okay, a lot of people, right? Big fans. So I interviewed him twice on my YouTube channel. I reviewed his book as well, and he's also reviewing this book. Unfortunately, he could not spend time to give his review before the book launch, but he's going to give me the review, and I'll add it up again in the book here. So I started doing this, I just reached out to them with the open heart and using some sales and marketing techniques, which is what's in it for him, right? I reached out to Dan Lok. You should definitely follow Dan Lok. Amazing guy. His channel grew from 1,000 to 100,000 just in 1 year. Dan Lok, amazing. So I reached out to them saying that, hey, I am so and so in India, big fan of your work, little bit of adding value and say, hey, I want to spread your word with all the Indians and people, my colleagues, who are really looking forward to succeed. So giving them what's in it for them, and I have then so many followers in this channel. And then agreeing to that was just an easy part, because the way you put it across, and if you reach out to Nitin sir and you ask him, I want to learn more, right? I really admire you. I love what you're doing. And there are so many people who need to learn what you're doing. Do you think he will say no?
I'm all yours.
Yeah, exactly, right? So have that approach, and people are more open abroad. I reached out to some of the Indian people, I asked them, hey, can I interview you? I'm still yet to hear from them, and some people who said, yeah, I charge. Okay. All right, so just even sharing the knowledge, I think the foreigners are more open, their culture is open. India is getting there, slowly and steadily, but yeah, it will happen. So to answer your question, summarize it, reach out, first of all, don't hesitate. Number two is, don't be selfish. Don't try to get something out of them with a selfish motive. Be more giving and sharing their message across the platform, and then that's about it, I think.
Excellent. How many of you have YouTube channels? Raise your hands, please. All right. How many of you, before coming for this workshop, went to YouTube and saw my videos to see, should I go in this program or not? How many of you went to YouTube and actually saw my videos? Do you think, it's a suggestion to all of you, if you want to be a speaker or if you are a speaker, there is no way that you can do without a YouTube channel. Am I right on me there? There is no way you can do without it. You got to have a YouTube channel, you got to show yourself, you got to speak. It doesn't matter if you put clippings from a public speaking program, it could be you speaking to the camera in your mobile phone, as simple as that. Yes, Dave?
100%. I think the Mark Zuckerberg said by 2018, 80% of the Facebook content also will be just videos. Okay, Same goes for YouTube. So if you're not on video, trust me, you're going backwards.
Correct.
You need to
That's a
utilize
valid
your
point.
technology really well, and you need to do it now, because still in India people are not yet aware. Nitin is far ahead of time. I see him doing things 2 or 3 years in advance before anybody else in India doing, right? And probably you're the first one who used the email funnel and workshop funnel technique, and now you're still doing the email chains, webinars. You're the one who started all this, so you need to be ahead of your time. And in YouTube, if you're not, right time, probably you're going backwards. So I think it's a huge thing.
I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Manojji, when you look back at your life, what do you think things that you could have done better as far as becoming a consultant or writing a book or all of this is concerned? What is it that you could have done better? Any one particular thing that when you look back, you say, "Ye main shayad better kar leta."
See, I wrote this book in 2013 and the book got published in 2016 and 3 years. And what was happening in these 3 years? I was looking for a publisher. Till the time I attended a similar workshop over here in 2016 April. Then I decided that we will go on a self-publishing route, because getting an ideal publisher is a pipe dream, because you are a new author, you are a new person. So once I got convinced that yes, self-publishing is the right thing to do, I thought that that is where I should focus my energies on. And then in December, the book finally came out on Amazon and it became a bestseller and other things followed through. So I could have done this in 2013. The book was ready in April 2013. While it got kick-started after launch in 2016 end.
So you went ahead with self-publishing, and my question to both of you, it needs investment, isn't it? Putting money into it. So why did you do it, Dave? What was your answer? What's your answer? Why did you put money into your book?
Interesting. So one of my goals is to inspire, empower, and transform 10 million lives. Right? That's my ultimate goal. So whatever I'm doing, everything is aligned. So all my YouTube channels, reaching out to millionaires, doing a lot of free coachings, or I did a lot of free coachings. And everything that I'm doing, learning, studying, this is one of that pillar which will help me to reach more people. Like, I'd rather be a bestseller than just being a best written. So being a bestseller is important, and book, it gives a power. When you hand over the book to someone, you're looked upon as a different person. That's number one. Number two, it has a good reach. What went through that person's mind when he did not know me, that the guy who I met in the lift, I did not know him, he did not know me, he did not even know what's there, what's the content inside. But just the title actually made him reach to me, and trust me, he will remember me for a long time, being the first guy who bought my book before even it released. So it gives me a reach, and more people you reach, more successful you will be, right? Again, you have to reach, you have to transform, you have to add value. I mean, can you imagine if you touch 10 million lives, if you can transform or inspire 10 million people, you think you'll be broke? Sandeep Maheshwari, everybody knows Sandeep Maheshwari, raise your hand. You have to know. If not, then probably living in primitive age. So imagine his YouTube channel is 5-6 million people now, okay? And he has a reach of 5-6 million people. He's impacting 5-6 million people. If he writes a book today, okay, not only his reach will increase, but his bank balance will also increase. Even if he sells 1 million copy, do the calculation. 1 million copy of this. He is a multi-millionaire. So to answer your question in short, yes, it gives you a branding as well as it gives you passive income source. Most importantly, it gives you a reach. And bigger reach, bigger person you will be.
Manojji, your take on this? On it, anyways, the book publishing and everything you had to invest money into this.
Yeah. See, I would say Dave is talking about passionpreneur. So writing a book itself is a passion, and it's a creation. You are creating something, and as Dave very rightly said, it's like your own baby. So you want to make it a success. So whatever investments you make in your baby, you have to make in your book to make it a success. So It's actually very simple to think that investment has to be made and depends on your passion, your conviction about the book, your faith in your own book is what will make you make that investment. So
Correct, correct. And both of them, I must tell you, friends, both of them are perfectionists. When we decided on the cover of the book for Mr. Manoj, I think we had a really hard time, as was with Dev. I mean, they actually grilled us to the core when we were working on their covers. So finally, are both of you happy with the end product that you have in your hand?
yeah, I think the cover is one of the best things because that is what people see before opening the book. Before buying the book, the cover is what they see, and cover is what we focused a lot of energy on, and we came up with a perfect cover with, I think, 5-6 iterations till the time, and we did a survey on Facebook, 3 options, asked all my Facebook connects to give 1, 2, 3 as preference, voted, counted the votes, they gave lot of comments that this cover is good, but if you make this change, we looked at all those things, summarized them, and came up with a cover which had the best of all the 3 covers which we had put forth for voting.
Right, Dev.
So just to, I know when I walked in from there till here, okay, what you looked at, you already had a perception about me before even I spoke a word. Because of the way I look is the most important aspect. You already had some perception. So it's true that the book is judged by its cover. And I think the team Nitin has done a phenomenal job. I know we gave them a tough time, be it from the title to writing, everything, right? Everything is there except for the content, even the content, right? I know I probably had 1,000 plus, 10,000 plus errors. So from the editing to the book publishing, from the cover, back, everything, I think we gave them a tough time, but I think it was all worth it, and they were so receptive.
I have a simple last question to you. What advice do you want to give to our audience? What piece of advice do you have for them? Who'd like to go first? You? All right.
I'll just say you have to give it a start and finish it. So like the Nike advertisement go, just do it.
Just do it.
There is no other way. And till the time you determine that I have to do it, you will not be able to do it. Book writing is something where the mind always tells, अभी mood नहीं है, ठीक है, अभी writer's block है, अभी ये है, अभी वो है. So you have to get past all this, and to get past all this, there is only one principle. Just do it. You decide. I decided every day I have to write 10 pages. And if I do not complete it, that means 70 pages in a week, then Saturday, Sunday I will cover up and reach 70 pages. And I followed that, and that is the only reason till the time I was able to build this discipline, I wasn't able to write even a page. But once I built it, in 28 days I was able to complete the book.
Great,
So
fantastic.
that's the only way
Yes.
to do it.
Very nice, very nice. Dev.
I agree. Let me ask this very stupid question, and we know the answer. How many of you are here who wants to be super successful? Raise your hand. All of us, right? I know that's right, the stupid question. Now, if we know the obvious, what is stopping us from becoming super successful? There may be so many reasons we can give of not to doing something, right? We want to write something. We want to be healthy. We want to be successful. But why don't we do it? The primary reason of the motivation fading out is that you've not identified the purpose and the passion behind what you're doing and why you're here, right? You have something, but you need to give more fuel to fire. You need to ignite that passion. You need to write book, keeping your end users or end buyers in mind, that how your book will add value to them. And once you identify that passion and align that to how that passion is going to add value to them, what problem or challenge you will solve, then comes, you just do it. Okay, just do it. Once your passion is there, you will be unstoppable. And yeah, buy my book if you want to be unstoppable, for sure. It will give you a step-by-step guide. I'm a sales guy at the end of the day, right? Marketing guy. So yeah, just do it. Find the passion, write, and then finish it. That's about it.
Dev, how do we find passion?
That's a beautiful question. I think it's not a short answer, but I'll try and give you a short answer. Doing anything which makes your heart sing is your passion. Doing anything which you can go on and on and on 24/7 without anybody paying you a single dime is your passion. In other ways, let's say you have $1 billion in your account and you still want to do that thing, that is your passion.
Great.
You know, when I traveled, when I was in the US, I traveled overnight, went to another city and came back. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I did one coaching, that also for free. If those are the days when you start experiencing those things and it still makes you happy, that is passion. So start by identifying some interest areas, then trickle down that to the passion, okay, out of which all these which makes your heart sing. And then find a way to commercialize it also. Don't stop at just identifying the passion. You need to make it work. You need to write a book. You need to share your knowledge, wisdom, help others. Ultimately, then you will become unstoppable, and then you will build your multiple streams of income. So don't just stop at identifying the passion. Work on it and then live it.
Great. Manoj, you want to add something to it?
I'll just put it in another words. Dave has wonderfully explained. But belief in yourself, I think, is the first step to generate the passion. Because unless you believe in yourself or what you want to create, the belief in that particular product, that results into passion. Because it cannot happen that you generate a passion first and then develop the belief. So it generally is belief the first step and then passion gets generated.
Great.
All right.
Friends, give them a big round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Dave. Thanks very much. Means a lot that you came here, and it's a big day for you, book launch and becoming an Amazon bestseller. Thank you so much, Dave. Give them a big round of applause once again. Thank you. Thank you very much.